Alright, welcome to the Mosquito Marsh time trial episode. We start off with Offbeat, which this is like my favorite level in the game. I just think it's fun and I really like the music. I don't know, it's just catchy. But anyway, this isn't too hard of a time trial, to be honest. You just really have to keep yourself moving and hit as many time boxes as you can. You do get quite a few masks in this, so I would try to hold on to them to get invincibility, but honestly, for this level, I wouldn't worry about invincibility until the very final rail section, so with that being said, do it as you please, but there's a section where you get a mask, and if you already have to, you'll get invincibility, and it just may make it a little difficult to get all the time boxes, or at least risky, so I'll point that out when we get there. But as far as this level goes, it's really not that hard. You don't really have to do a lot of triple spins or slide spins or anything. You really just have to keep yourself moving at a good pace. I mean, I do them when I can, if I have the room to do them, but most of the time I'm just jumping, and like here, I'm just jumping across. Like I don't even triple spin there. Like I literally am just running across here. So I lost the mask there, which is fine. Like I said, I don't really care that much because I don't want to have invincibility at a certain point. I lost the second mask there, so get a third, or get the mask back, and then, or no, oops, I didn't lose a second mask. I don't know. Anyway, I got a mask back, so we're good. So we're gonna make our way on up. Just triple spin your way through here, slide spin, whatever you like doing. And get in the little bazooka guy, cannon guy, whatever he is. Get in the next cannon guy. There's literally nothing here. And then this section is where you would get your mask that I feel like would make this harder with invincibility, because you have to break these 3 time boxes. And if you have invincibility, you know, boxes automatically break. And when they're over a void like that, they do have like a split second that they don't break, but it just, I don't know, it just makes it difficult. So just keep that in mind. Now this is the final part, and then it's just the rail grind sections. So as you see, I'm pretty far ahead of the ghost. Not like really, really far, but I'm ahead of the ghost, so I felt pretty good about this, because this, you cannot go any faster physically on this part. There's, I mean, in between the 2 rails you can, I guess, but the rail is 1 speed, so once you're on the rail, you're on the rail. There's not really anything that's going to change that. Drop down there and grab that box. I missed it, so I mean, I knew I missed it whenever I was actively doing it, but it was whatever, because I completed it this run. So you do get a 3rd mask here, so if you have 2 masks, you will get invincibility for this final rail section. It is coming up here in next jump, right there. So now once you have this, you're pretty much invincible, so just make sure you get your jumps, and you'll make it to the end easy. So there we go. It's Offbeat. It's probably the last time I'll ever do that level. And we move on to Home Cookin, I believe, which is Dingo Dial's level. Yep, Home Cookin. Now with Dingo Dial, and as with all the alternate characters, as you know, you cannot do triple spins, you can't do slide spins, because they have their own set of moves and abilities. So with Dingo Dial, you pretty much just have to move fast, as quickly as possible. Try to cut corners. Try to avoid doing things that would make you stay in the air longer. Things like that. Like that, try to break that box with the enemy. Cut this corner here. You'll get the little cutscene of his restaurant blowing up. And then we're just going to keep moving along as quickly as possible. You can spin the mixer if you are good at that, but I would recommend just shooting TNT at it. Shoot a TNT at the sign to get the crate. And just keep moving. I like these guys to drop their TNT because there's been a lot of times where I've spun these boxes here and they drop their TNT right on me and then I lose a mask, which just kind of sucks. Because I like to have my 2 masks here for a reason, and I will point that out when I get there. However, for the first reason that I like to have a mask, it didn't even take a mask from me this time, because I just happened to spin the boxes perfectly. But if I did it like I always do, then I would lose a mask there, and I'd lose the other mask almost immediately after. But it doesn't really matter because you get another mask. Right here, this stack of crates, usually I just spin it and the nitro hurts me, but it didn't hurt me there, and there's a mask right there, so you lose a mask but you pick it right back up. And it doesn't really matter if you have 3 masks or not with Dingo Dial or any of the alternate characters, because they do not get the invincibility mode, so it's just a waste to pick up a mask if you already have 2. So in order to make that beneficial, you just break that stack of the nitro crates and you get a mask right back again. So as it goes with cutting, just cut around those things, don't bother trying to explode them, jump on these back platforms and kill all them, activate these TNTs, just keep moving along as quickly as you can. Anywhere that you can cut a corner, I would recommend cutting it. It just saves you time. This is the only spot that kind of sucks. You kind of have to go out of your way to get that TNT, so it would definitely be faster to just spin it. But I've just not been successful really at it consistently, so I just didn't do it that way. I got stuck here. If I didn't get stuck there, I probably would have got the Toys for Bob time. It kind of sucks, but it's not like you get anything for Toys for Bob time, so I don't really care. That's the final time box, and then just spin your way through all this. You should still have a mask at least, so. There it is. Pull a rubber ducky out of the vacuum. See, 3 seconds off from that Toys for Bob time. It's crazy. Okay, so moving on, we will be doing Run It Bayou, which is definitely a struggle when it comes to insanely perfect and inverted, but time trial's not too bad. Because again, there's just like some of these levels, I feel like they weren't really designed to have a time trial in mind. But anyway, I'll get more on that in a bit. So with this first section, I get all of these time crates except for one of them, and I skip it on purpose because I'll explain. This one in the corner here, I just ignore. It's only a 1 second one, and if you try to get it, you'll be at about 16-17 seconds when you get off the jetboard, whereas if you skip it, you're at like 11 or 12. So it's definitely better to skip it and gain 5 seconds rather than wait for it and only get a 1 second time freeze and then lose 5 seconds. So I would recommend skipping it. This whole part here though is probably the hardest part with the cycles of the ropes. So you just pretty much gotta figure it out and get into the cycle of the ropes and try to get them on the first swing. But that's, as I was saying, that's a reason why. Here's another part that I got kind of lucky on. But what I'm saying with this, a lot of these levels aren't really designed for time trials. Like things that have like swinging ropes like that, and then this has obviously that whole sous chef raft part. And I skipped that mask on purpose because it's just not worth trying to get. But like this thing only moves at a certain speed, so like you can't really go any faster along this part. So it's just, I don't know. As long as you get all the time crates, you'll pretty much get the platinum relic time. So you gotta pretty much just jump down and slide, or slide jump across all of these so you can break all these boxes ahead of time. I continue on even and break this one, and I trigger these TNTs. And then the raft is almost to us, but I just like to jump back so I don't have to worry about the TNT explosion. We're going to jump over those nitros, and then this is all pretty much the same as the level is. It's just the crates you're jumping for are the time freeze crates instead of just normal crates. There's nothing up there, so don't even bother. final one. I hate the camera angle there. I always miss that crate. So then we're going to get on the raft. And with this, you're pretty much just going to haul ass. I mean, you just got to go for it. It's really not that hard, to be honest. Just let off your turbo if you feel like you're going too fast, but it's not too bad. I mean, there are definitely things that can hit you, but you should at least still have one mask, so if not two, if you picked up that one and made it through everything without getting hit. But this is really where you want to save your mask for, just in case, so you can tank a hit and just keep going. But that is the time trial for Run It Bayou. And I was close to the Toys for Bob time on that one as well. So the final level is No Dillo Dallying, which is the timeline level, and this starts with Dingo Dial. You may feel that the platinum time is like impossible and you'll never get it, but I promise you it's not that bad. I thought the same thing, and I was just moving too slow on Dingo Dial's part. So you really got to book it with Dingo Dial, and I mean like book it. Like collect as many time crates as you can, but if some are taking you too much time to get, then just ignore them. Because pretty much for the entire final section of the level on the jet board, your time is frozen. There's so many time crates. So as long as you get to that point by like a minute 25 and you're on the jet board, you should be able to make it all the way to the end without more than 2 seconds being added to the timer. So with that being said, I mean, you just gotta move fast and try to keep both masks with Dingo Dial, because having both masks is really beneficial for the final portion of his level. See, I skipped those back there because it's just not worth it. I hit these though, and then I almost fell to my death there, but luckily the raft came. Grab these on the sides and then jump around these nitro. But if you can keep both your masks, the very final portion of Dingo Dial's part, you can just tank 2 of the nitro walls that you have to blow up normally with the TNT. And it just makes it much faster to get through. You really want to get to the Coco or Crash section, I think, by like 50 seconds to be able to have enough time. Ish. Maybe 55 seconds. See, I just tanked these last 2. Actually, you can even jump over them if you're feeling froggy. So yeah, if you can get here by 58 seconds, you should be able to make it, as long as you can get all of these time traits during this part. And this is even trickier than the Run It Bayou one, because the boxes are in different patterns and they're just harder to get, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of like the normal level. Timeline levels are always a little trickier, but see, the ghost stops there, and I don't really understand why, and I never see the ghost again after that, which I just find that strange, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like intentional, or if that's like a bug with the ghost. I'm really not sure. It's super weird though. So yeah, if you can get all these boxes, you should be able to get this no problem. I ended up blowing that up, so I missed that 3 up there, but I still get it no problem. So yeah, see, I'm at 124 when I got on this jet board, and I pretty much just never let off turbo. I'm serious. Like, I hold that bitch. I let off a little bit right here, but then I'm back on it, and I pretty much don't let off. I have 2 masks, so I'm just thinking if I get hit, whatever. I have masks, so I pretty much just burned my way through all of this and don't look back. And my time is still at 124, so the time is still frozen. It has not started ticking again, and I just blast through those because, like, whatever. It's time started ticking, but there's 2 more boxes right there, so it froze it at 127, and I got it in 128. So it's not as hard as it looks. Believe me, you just have to get through Dingo Dial's part as quickly as possible. So that is going to be all 4 levels on Mosquito Marsh. the next island has 5 levels, so I'll see you in that episode.